to Kentwood Voices. This episode, I'm speaking with Kris Laine at our Northern Properties office in Fort Collins. Kris was born in the Midwest and raised on the East Coast. And then she moved to Southern California, where she lived for 20 years and practiced commercial brokerage. When she relocated to Colorado in 2006, Kris started a career in residential and commercial as a hybrid broker. Welcome, Kris. It's great to have you today.
Thanks, Gretchen. It's great to be here.
I'm super excited to talk about you both because you're in Northern Colorado, which is one of our really great and growing markets, but also because you're a hybrid commercial and residential. And I know you really focus on residential real estate, but you have so much depth in your commercial experience. I think this is going to be an interesting conversation.
Great.
So tell me the genesis of what got you into the career in real estate.
So when I moved to Southern California, I was in banking for a very short period of time, and I was thinking that I was going to get into banking, and that shortly ended about 6 or 7 months later. I have two siblings that have been in real estate their entire career, and realized that banking wasn't fun, and I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. And so I got into real estate at a very young age in my early 20s, and had some family supporting me to get going and get my license.
That is crucial when you're starting out, to have those resources, either your own financial resources when you're getting going, or family. I think that's a great way to get started in real estate, especially when you're in your 20s, because it's just commission only. It's very difficult to get started otherwise.
For sure. Definitely.
Yeah. So what interesting background from growing up years do you bring to your practice?
Well, I'm the youngest of six. And as the youngest of six, you sometimes get the, oh, well, you're the youngest, you were spoiled, you got everything handed to you, when in reality, no, my brothers and sisters just kind of seasoned my parents. But I learned how to deal with conflict quite well. Having that many siblings teaches you how to do conflict resolution pretty quickly. And actually in commercial real estate and in residential real estate, we get those kinds of challenges every day. So it's been really helpful to understand, really understanding how to read people and how to overcome objection, if you will. So
right. I mean, you're growing up created this natural ability to negotiate, it sounds like.
Yes. Yes, it did, especially with a brother who thought that there was never going to be enough food. So my 5 sisters and I had to negotiate so that he wouldn't eat all the mashed potatoes.
Oh my gosh, so he has 5 sisters? That's
correct. Yes, my brother does. And you know what? And he turned out okay. He really did. He's a real estate guy. So there's that.
That's good. Is he the oldest?
No, he's not. I have one sister that's older than he is. He's the second oldest.
Yeah, I have a middle brother. I'm the oldest, and then I have a brother, and then we have a younger sister. And so he was the beleaguered middle child with 2 sisters.
Yeah. Well, I was the youngest, so I, always had the, go away, leave us alone. Why don't you go play in the traffic, as one of my sisters would say. Is that awful?
Yeah.
But
hopefully, well, obviously there wasn't traffic that got you, so you're still here.
No, no, I survived.
That's good. Survival of the fittest, and you were. So in the last 5 years, tell me, have you had any new behaviors, new habits, anything that really improved your life?
Just in life in general, or real estate related?
You get to choose how you want to answer.
I get to choose. Well, let's see. I would have to say real estate related. It's kind of twofold. As you know, and as I've talked to you, I'm very, very big into fitness, and I have been a fitness instructor part-time for a very long time. And I find that fitness is a great discipline, and that discipline with fitness helps translate into my real estate career. And right after I joined Kentwood, I did the ninja training, and it really changed my life in terms of my real estate career. I already had the discipline of what to do and how to do it, but ninja just kind of really rounded things out for me. And I would say in the last 5 years, in the last actually couple of years, I've really seen, I've seen a new Kris Laine come through in the real estate business.
So the ninja program, for those who are uninitiated, is ninja selling. And it was created by Larry Kendall, and he's also from Fort Collins, and it's a really terrific system. So essentially, you had the discipline, Kris, but this program gave you the tools and the toolkit to thrive as a broker.
Yes, yes. And I will say, in my career in commercial real estate in Los Angeles, there was a lot of sales training. There was lots of conferences and lots of, the tools were there as well. But I really feel I went through that. And then when I got into the residential side and I started to see the way the real estate market was here in Northern Colorado, it's very different than Southern California. And as a result, you got to find what works, and going to Ninja really I was really able to hone in on the tools and really take it to the next level.
And it's been fun for me to watch you do that. That's been great.
Thank you.
So have you purchased anything? $500 or less, or we don't even have to limit it, but it's kind of fun for the audience to hear purchases that positively impacted your life. And this doesn't have to be for business. I've had answers anywhere from marketing to a crock pot.
Let me see. Well, I can say yes, but it was a gift. So it's kind of hard to say that I bought it. But my husband got me an Instapot.
Oh.
And it's been amazing.
When you're busy like you are and like we are in real estate, that's a perfect thing to have, because you can get dinner started and then
awesome.
Go on to your day, or because you can use it as both a crock pot and so it's like a slow cooker or a pressure cooker that cooks fast, yes. Right? I don't have one, but I know people that do.
Oh, the best pulled pork sandwiches on the planet. Truly. And the house smells so good, and it cooks in 45 minutes, and you're like, boom, there it is. Dinner's ready. Yay. So It's great. It's been great.
Now you have to teach Steve how to make things in it. Does he use the tools?
After almost 30 years of marriage, Gretchen, he does his own laundry, and I'm okay with just that. If I can get him to do the Instapot, great, but he's a griller, so he does the grill. But he's good about doing his laundry. That's one thing I don't have to do for him.
Sounds like a good balance.
It is a good balance. Yeah. We got 30 years coming up here in a couple of weeks. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's terrific. So do you have a quote or a saying? Do you have anything that you tell yourself that keeps you motivated or grounded?
Yes, actually, I have quite a few. So I do a little morning meditation every morning when I wake up. And it's from Ninja. I do my gratitudes. And so first thing in my head is my gratitudes before I put my feet on the floor. But one of the things that I said, and I said it this morning, was if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And I have found that in this very challenging real estate market, we have had to change the way that we are doing business in order to be effective for our clients. And sometimes those challenges we wish we didn't have, but it also forces us to think outside the box, to get more creative, to take a breath, actually. And in this market, we've had to all take a few breaths, for sure.
If it doesn't challenge
you, it doesn't change you.
That's a great one. So you you talked a little bit about this market. Let's move over and speak about the real estate market and how you are adapting to those challenges and those changes. Do you have any tips or thoughts on how to deal with this crazy market we have right now?
So I have found that communication is vital, absolutely vital. We have buyers coming into this market that are, all excited and they find this perfect house, and you take them through and they're all excited, and we tell them, okay, let's write an offer, and you get in and you're one of 7 offers. And the key is, in my mind, is educate them and communicate with them that there is going to be competition going in.
Mhm.
If you go in with the expectation of, oh yes, you found the perfect house, here we go, we write the offer, we come in at full price, we're well qualified, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you realize, wait a second, we did all this work and now we're competing against 6 other people. Well, now what do we do? So in order I have found for myself, in order to really be proactive and effective for my clients, just communicate. And it's happening all over the country. I know I'm hearing, I've got buyers coming in from Wisconsin. I've got buyers coming in from Minnesota. And one of the first questions out of their head is, or their mouth is it really that crazy out there? Yes, it is. Is it really that crazy in Minnesota? Yes, it is. So it's happening everywhere. But the more you can give your clients in terms of communication, strategy, the ability to really take a breath and try not to get too emotional. That's the hardest thing.
Right. Right. So they have to be hopeful that they'll get the house, but not devastated if they don't, and know that there will be a house for them.
Correct.
I think also that's great. That communication is so key to giving them the stamina they need to continue going forward.
Yes.
Yes. We all need stamina. The brokers need stamina. The buyers need stamina. And it's so important now for buyers and sellers to be well represented.
Agree. And when you have brokers who are seasoned and who understand how important communication is, it helps, because then they feel like you really truly, and I use this term frequently, as a broker, you're really holding their hand and you're really guiding them through the process instead of just going, oh yeah, here you go. You really need to guide them and communicate and educate them how it works.
Right. And there's so much back end to a transaction.
Yes.
Besides finding it on the MLS or on the internet and going for a showing or looking at the pictures. There's just a whole lot that we do to support and impact a beneficial outcome.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And building the relationship and the trust with that client is key as well.
Yeah. And you do that because of the experience you have and also just what your personality is. I think that they know you're in their corner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try. I try. As a coach, that's what I do.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So based on this market and kind of how it's impacting us both as brokers and as clients, let's talk about some failures you've had. If you want to share any kind of a failure in your life or in your business that set you up for success later, and how did you overcome those challenges?
So I'm going to go back to my quote. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. I have had some great challenges going on competing listings. And when I first got back into the business, I think it's been about 7 years now, but when I first got back into the business, I went into competing listings thinking that I could wow them with my personality and my experience and my, I can do this for you and I can do that for you. And I didn't always get them. And I learned after I went to Ninja that it's not all about your personality, and it's not all about the fact that you may be in the real estate business for 25 years. What it really is about is being authentic, being able to be trusted and being an expert in the field, and building that trust is key. And when you go on a competing listing and you don't get it, you kind of go, well, okay, do I really suck? I mean, I hate to use that phrase, but in your mind and in sales, sales, my husband always said, and I love it because it's so true. He always said, honey, you got to be a little bipolar to be in sales, because you're going to have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And those the lows are going to be your failures, but you pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you turn the wheel every day and you keep going and learn from the failures and know, well, no, I guess I'm never going to do that again. So next, and just keep going.
Yeah, in real estate, I think you develop a bit of a thick skin over time.
Mm-hmm.
And also those that succeed in brokerage, like you, are able to learn from the hard lessons. So the buyers that didn't choose to work with you, the sellers that didn't choose to work with you, those hard lessons, you've taken those and been able to reflect on them and then turn those into successes. And that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard, because you got to remember, those of us that are in sales, you got to have a strong personality and a little bit of an ego. And that's not a bad thing. But in order to be confident enough when you walk in that door of someone's home, you have to exude the confidence that, you know what, I can sell your house and this is why you should pick me. And that's not easy, because if you don't get chosen, then I do this, I beat myself up. Was I wearing the wrong thing? Was my hair out of place? I go through that whole thing. And it's, maybe the personalities just didn't jive. And it happens. It does. It happens.
Yeah, you're not going to get 100%, but you're going to get the ones that want to work with you.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to ask you about a worthwhile investment. I'm curious, is there any kind of investment that you've made? The ninja selling was one, but an investment of time or an investment of money or an investment in energy that's really positively impacted you?
That's a great question. Well, I'm gonna go back to the fact that I'm kind of a fitness nut, and I do invest in myself in the area of fitness. And the reason I do that is, number one, because I really like it, and number two, it keeps me grounded and it keeps my mind clear. And it affords me the ability to really strategize when I need to, because I've let all my frustrations out. I've gone to a class. I've, done what I have to do. And I invest in my health and my wellness so that I can be a better broker and be better for my clients and better for my family.
It's really interesting to me how thematic these interviews have been in terms of revolving around fitness. So many of our Kentwood brokers are very dedicated to their exercise routines. And I think that's partially because we're a really fit group in Colorado, maybe, but also it's a stressful career. Yes. And that's a great way to decompress. And like you said, think and strategize and keep yourself healthy and be able to get a good night's sleep. So almost all of you talk about working out, fitness. It's interesting.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's fun, and you're right. We live in such an amazing place. If you can afford the time and you can get out and hike and enjoy the outside, it's amazing. If not, jump on an elliptical for an hour and listen to your favorite music and just let your mind go. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. That's really helpful. Well, I want to talk about, let's go back to the business of real estate. And I'm curious if you've heard bad advice. And this could be bad advice given to clients. One of the examples is don't have an inspection. That would be bad advice. Or bad advice given to new brokers, someone who's looking at getting in the business. Maybe that was go door knock, although I know a couple of people that still do that. Most of us don't really like the idea of door knocking, but what kind of bad advice do you hear given out in our profession?
So particularly in this market where it's so competitive, the one with, forego an inspection really hits home for me. And one of the things that I have really worked to educate my clients with is, I really don't care how much you love this house. You really need to know what you're buying. And the best way to do that is to do an inspection. And if you don't get the house because they decided to forego inspection and you chose not to, then this wasn't the right house for you. I think the liability that people are walking into without inspecting is, and I actually have a client that just had that issue down in Centennial, and the broker that they had previously said, oh, don't worry about the radon. You don't need to inspect for that. Well, guess what? It came back at a 12 and they had to spend $1,500 on a mitigation system because the broker that they had said, oh, don't worry about it. And, sadly, that's bad advice. It is. And it's the liability is what scares me the most. We're the experts in the field. Our job is to be that source for our clients so that when they call us in 2 years, they still want to use us as their broker because we educated them and kept them down the path of making the right decision for that home. So right. Yeah, so that one does hit hard for me for sure, Gretchen, on the inspection.
I think that's really good advice. And I know people are just crazy to get a house, and when they're competing, they want to waive inspection. They need to walk into that knowing that they've got some resources. So for instance, if you're going to skip a radon inspection, I sure hope your broker tells you that it might cost you between $1,000 and $2,000 to mitigate for that, should you down the road find that there's radon. And it's not a life-changing expense, but it's something that a buyer would want to be able to budget for if they needed to. And if they didn't realize what that impact might be, that was bad advice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's, first time home buyer, you're pinching every penny to try to make it work. And you've been saving and you've been doing all this, and all of a sudden you get hit with another $1,500. Oh, wow. Okay. How much overtime do I have to work, or, that kind of thing. So
that's right. It's our job to look out for our clients.
Correct. Yes.
So Kris, in the last 5 years, tell me something you've gotten better at saying no to.
I've gotten better at, and I still have to work on it, giving free advice. We are experts in the field, and, for me, I'm at the gym or I'm out having coffee and I run into somebody I know, and it's hey, how's the real estate market? Oh, well, and you start talking about the real estate market. Well, that can lead to, oh, by the way, what would you do in this instance? Or if I were thinking about doing this, how might I handle that? And because we like to talk as realtors, we like to talk and we love real estate, you end up talking. And as you're talking, 25 minutes later, you've just given somebody completely free advice on whether it's how to list their house, and you can try with the, oh, hang on, you know what, why don't I just come up and see you and we can, have a conversation there. Oh, no, I don't need you to come to the house. We're fine. Well, then, 3-4 months later, you find out, oh yeah, we went with someone else. And so it's the kind of thing where I'm torn, because you don't want to be rude and you don't want to cut them off and go, oh, so, what else is new? But in the same breath, it's what we do and it's what we love. And I like to talk about it. But I feel like I give a lot of free advice.
Yeah. Well, we could take a page out of the book of attorneys and doctors.
Yeah.
Walk up to the line and they say, they'll give you little around the gray area. They'll give you they'll fill it in a little for you, but they don't they don't give you the entire roadmap. If you're if you're friends with them or acquaintances with them, they'll just give you little bits of, well, you might think about this or you might think about that, but then they kind of move on. And yeah, that's true. It's people. I think so many consumers forget. They know that we don't get paid until the transaction closes, but they forget that, and that, you know, our time is so valuable in terms of where we focus our energy.
Yes.
Because if you're putting a lot of energy into not getting paid, you're not going to make it in this career. You really do need to focus on an outcome that's a win for everyone.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So how do you overcome getting unfocused or overwhelmed? What coping mechanisms do you use? Because this is one of those businesses where you can certainly get overwhelmed and unfocused, especially when all of a sudden a year's worth of business hits you in a month.
Yeah. So I have two outlets. One is exercise and the other one is chocolate. I have an issue with chocolate. Truly. I mean, for some it's, you know, they have that glass of wine or whatever at the end of the day. Hershey's Kisses and I are best friends. When I get really stressed, I eat chocolate.
Well, at least the Kisses slow you down a little because you have to unwrap one at a
time. Yes, I do. It's, you know, it's not like opening a Hershey bar and you can just shove it pieces in your mouth. And I have downstairs in my house, I have a candy jar with Hershey's Kisses.
You know, my brother introduced me last year to Lily's chocolates, which are stevia sweetened. It's not the same as Hershey's, but it's
does it satisfy?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's far less calories, but it's still chocolate.
Yeah. Well, and I figure if I'm going to eat the chocolate, then I just need to keep exercising.
It's working for you.
It's, you know, it's balance, right, Gretchen? It's all about balance.
Chocolate is very good for your brain too, I think.
Well, and dark chocolate has antioxidants. So there's that.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. I think I need to go get some chocolate after this.
I know.
Okay, God. Last question I have for you. Do you listen to podcasts? I know you read books because you've shown us some of the books that you've read, or you know, watch any shows that you really love and you want to recommend?
So I don't listen to podcasts because I don't find the time to listen to podcasts. And my reading is mostly, you know, because I'm sitting on the board of directors, I've been doing a lot of real estate reading recently, as it relates to, you know, some of the new things that are coming down through NAR and through CAR. I haven't done much leisure reading, unfortunately. You know, my husband and I are headed out of town here in a little bit, and I'm looking for a good book to just kind of lose myself in. But really, right now, I'm just kind of focused on real estate stuff. I wish I had time to read other things, but I don't, unfortunately. But I'm always looking for recommendations.
So, you know, Sarah Tyler in your office listens to Audible books when she's driving around, and she gave some great recommendations.
That's a great idea.
Books. So ask Sarah for your vacation book. She might have an idea for you.
Yeah, I will, for sure. That's a great idea. Yeah, I wish I could, but you know, sometimes it's just music. I do listen to a lot of music though. That's one thing I do enjoy.
That's a great way to decompress too. Chocolate, music,
exercise.
It's a trifecta.
There you go. There you go.
So speaking of the trifecta, let's talk about one last thing before we sign off. You introduced me to something called the drama triangle a couple of years ago, right? And I started reading up about it after you talked of it, because we used to say, I used to say, I'm a drama-free zone. There can be a lot of drama going on in our business and in our lives. And so you talked to me about the drama triangle, and it's fascinating. Do you want to give a quick overview of what that is?
Sure. So it's a gentleman his name is Cartman, and it's Cartman's Drama Triangle, and you can find it anywhere on the internet. But what it basically teaches you is how to identify people who are in drama. And when I say in drama, somebody who is in drama is freaking out about something. And it could be, let's say, real estate. It could be, the price of a house, or they didn't get the house they wanted, or something like that. And what that person will do is, what they want to do is they want to bring people into their drama so that they don't feel alone. And so what they do is they try to hook them. And by hooking them, what they will do is say, "Oh my God, can you believe?" And usually it's that phrase, or "Did you hear?" or "I can't believe." Those are hooks. And in the world of drama, what they're trying to do is they're trying to hook you into their drama. And you have a choice. You can either get hooked and get into their triangle with them and start talking and chatting and gossiping and doing all that stuff, or you can make a conscious choice and you can walk away. By not being rude, you can acknowledge that they're having a hard time. "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry you had that experience." And you can just move on to the next topic, instead of, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry you had that experience. Tell me more." That's what you're doing, is you're bringing yourself into the drama triangle. So that's kind of a bird's eye view of it, Gretchen. I know as you've read it, it can be a little bit more complicated, and there's the victim, and then there's the rescuer, and all of that as it goes. But in our business, in today's market, we really have to watch that when we get into drama, especially clients. If they don't get the house, or something happens during the contract period, stick to data, stick to the facts, process the question or the concern, and move on.
So sticking to the data and the facts keeps you from being the rescuer, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yes, it does. It keeps you from being the rescuer, because data, there's no drama in data. It is what it is. It's facts. You cannot dispute data, because it's real and it happened.
Although you can manipulate it. I learned that in statistics in grad school.
I know you can. Yes, you can. Thank God for statistics, right?
Yeah, right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Is there anything you want to add, Kris? Anything you want to talk about that I missed?
No, nothing really, other than I'm thrilled to be a part of this Kentwood family, and I'm thrilled to be a part of the Northern Properties office, and I'm watching it grow, and we're having a grand old time up here. And I appreciate being a part of this interview. Thank you, Gretchen. This has been an honor.
You're welcome. We appreciate you. And you are literally the founding member of that office. So kudos to you for helping us at Kentwood build on the dream of going up north. It's been really fun.
It has. It certainly has. We're having a grand old time. So thank you.
Well, thanks everyone for watching. Again, this is Kris Laine at Kentwood Northern Properties. And if you want to look at residential real estate or commercial real estate, you can call on Kris, and you can find her on our website. So everyone have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.